Imagine living your entire life depending on other people. You can't see where you're going. You can't work like everyone else. You can't simply walk into a store or travel somewhere without depending on someone. And every day, you sit in the same place, hoping someone will help you. That was the life of a man named Bartimaeus. The Bible tells us he was blind, and he was sitting beside the road, begging. Day after day, people walked past him. Some probably noticed him. Some probably ignored him. Others may have dropped a coin and kept walking. But Bartimaeus had no idea that one particular day was about to change everything. He heard a crowd approaching. Something was different. There were people everywhere. So Bartimaeus asked, "What's happening?" Someone told him, "Jesus of Nazareth is passing by." And suddenly, Bartimaeus knew this wasn't just another person. This was Jesus, the man he had probably heard about, the man who healed the sick, the man who gave hope to people everyone else had given up on. Bartimaeus couldn't see Jesus, but he knew he had to get his attention. So he shouted, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." And he didn't whisper it. He shouted. The crowd heard him, and they told him to be quiet. Think about that. The man who had been waiting for an opportunity to reach Jesus was being told to stop. Maybe you've experienced something similar. You finally find the courage to speak, to ask for help, to chase a dream, to tell someone what you're going through. And instead of encouragement, someone says, "Don't bother. You're not good enough. That won't work. Just give up." That's what Bartimaeus heard. But he didn't stop. The Bible says he shouted even more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." He couldn't see Jesus. He didn't know exactly where Jesus was, but he knew he couldn't let this moment pass. And then, something happened. Jesus stopped. The entire crowd was moving. People were walking. The road was busy. But Jesus stopped for one man who everyone else wanted to silence. And Jesus said, "Call him." The same people who had told Bartimaeus to be quiet were now telling him, "Take heart. Get up. He's calling you." Imagine that transformation. One moment, the crowd was trying to silence him. The next, Jesus was calling him closer. Bartimaeus threw aside his cloak. He jumped up, and he went toward Jesus. Then Jesus asked him, "What do you want me to do for you?" That question may sound simple, but Jesus already knew. Bartimaeus was blind. Jesus knew what he needed. So why ask? Because Jesus wanted Bartimaeus to speak his faith. Bartimaeus answered, "Rabbi, I want to see." Not money, not comfort, not revenge. He wanted to see. And Jesus said, "Go. Your faith has healed you." Immediately, Bartimaeus could see. Imagine opening your eyes and seeing the world for the first time. The faces around you, the road, the sky, the people, and the first person you see clearly is Jesus. Think about that. Bartimaeus had spent years being defined by what he couldn't do. Blind, dependent, begging, ignored. But one encounter with Jesus changed everything. And notice something else. Bartimaeus didn't just receive his sight. He followed Jesus. His miracle became the beginning of a new life. Maybe you're watching this and you feel invisible. Maybe people overlook you. Maybe you've been praying and wondering, does God even hear me? Maybe you've tried before and people told you to stop believing, stop hoping, stop trying. But remember Bartimaeus. The crowd didn't determine whether Jesus would hear him. The crowd didn't decide whether his life would change. And your critics don't get to decide what God can do with your life. Bartimaeus couldn't see Jesus, but he still called out to him. And Jesus stopped. That's the part one don't want you to forget. Jesus stopped. He wasn't too busy. He wasn't distracted. He didn't tell Bartimaeus, "Come back tomorrow." He heard him. So if you're praying right now, keep praying. If you're waiting, keep trusting. If you're discouraged, don't let someone else's doubt become your belief. And if you've been silent because you think nobody cares, remember, Jesus still hears the person everyone else ignores. Maybe your situation won't change exactly the way you expect, but you are not invisible to God. You are not forgotten, and your voice still matters. If you believe Jesus hears you, comment, "Jesus, hear my cry." Red heart like this video. Share it with someone who feels ignored or forgotten. Subscribe for more powerful Bible stories and Christian encouragement. And remember, the crowd tried to silence Bartimaeus, but Jesus stopped for him. So don't stop calling on God just because the crowd says, "Be quiet."